Okay, chat. Where do I put... Stay. You okay? Not gonna stay. Okay. So we're making a Phaifufu. I have this Lafufu. It's blue. You know what else is blue? Phainon's eyes from Honkai Star Rail. So we're gonna turn this into Phainon. Potentially. I'm looking at his outfit right now. And I am wondering why I thought this was a good idea. So the plan is I have felt. I also have scissors and I have a needle and thread. Right there. So, I'm gonna sketch out what he looks like first. And then, we will see. My main concern is that Phainon has really long limbs and a very tiny torso. So it might look a little wonky. I'm also looking at his jacket and I have no clue how that works. Let's see if I truly learned anything from my fashion classes in college. Yeah, I think I'm just going to make his coat. I don't think I can make pants for this doll thing. Okay, I'm gonna have to simplify a lot of this. Okay, okay, I'm gonna sketch out how the fit translates to this shorter model. I'm not a little concerned. I'm very concerned. Okay, so I'm having problems because Phainon has these sleeves where I think he wears an undershirt. And he has his jacket rolled up. And then you see part of his undershirt. But the problem is, there's only so much I can do with this tiny arm. I think I'm gonna have to take off a lot of detail off of the sleeve or the undershirt, which is unfortunate, but we must do what we must do. I'll keep the sun. He has a sun shape thing on his arm guard, his bracer.
He has a sun-shaped thing on his right arm, and then his left arm, he has a wrist thingy and a glove.
So I think I can add like a little sleeve here. And then the undershirt, I'll have the sun motif poking out a little. My vacuum is making noises.
And then on his left arm, I can make the sleeve, and then I can add like a little arm guard on the outside of it with a little sun. And then both, I'll have like a part of the undershirt poking out.
So the plan is to make it a whole piece. Basically, the undershirt and the jacket I'll make into one piece. And then if I have a collar kind of drawn out in the sketch, but if I do make a collar on the Lafufu fit, it might curl downward unless I make the brim wide enough. I think, though I do think it might work because I'm using felt. If I do end up putting the shoulder pads on, ideally it would push its arms down. Ew. It would push its arms down a little bit. Oh, that's a little unsettling. Okay, so this is what I have so far. This was my sketch. It kind of looks like him. Not really, sort of. This was the back. I did not bother coloring it. I have bro... Oh, right here. So this is the pattern I have. So this is going to be the bottom. And then, so this is the back. This is the front. These are the sleeves. The plan is I make the base jacket with my white and black thread. Yeah, so his jacket's white and his undershirt's black. So I'm gonna do this first. And then I can add on the details later. Okay, so I lied because I changed this part of the fit because I forgot he had like a part of his undershirt peeking out on the bottom. So I included it here. So how I made this was I just put the Lafufu on my paper and I traced the dots. I don't know how well that's gonna work, but I don't want to measure him. So this is what I have. Okay, so this is the front pattern. It fits. The only problem I have right now is it's a bit too long for him. So I'm gonna cut the bottom a bit, and yeah, I'll make the back and the sleeves, and I will be back, I guess. I'm low-key kind of scared. Listen, if you don't see my vision yet, look at his eyes. They have the same colored eyes. So, basically I have the patterns cut out. I did have a little problem with the sleeve. This is the sleeve. It would not wrap around because there's so much fur on his arm. So I had to make another one that does go around. I've never made a sleeve that's this shape that folds this way and not this way. So we're learning new things, chat. We're learning.
I'm building the card in game because I don't okay. Do I build the card? The card is kind of built on my account right now. A little.
I'm not gonna lie, I do not know how to play this game. Okay, I may or may not have accidentally cut this part where I wasn't supposed to cut it. Okay, we're gonna do something that you should never do, and that's guesstimating. I'm gonna cut like this little U shape here for the Lafufu's arm. These two little... Wow, this is really uneven. It's okay. Look at his little coat. Look at it. Yeah, so this is the under part. What I wanted it to be was something that goes over. So I'm gonna have to cut the center off. Because I do kind of want to sew this part to see if it will fit properly before I waste even more material. So what stitch I'm gonna use is I'm just gonna use like a back fourth stitch, and I'm gonna overlap them a little bit so it lays as flat as possible. Is the goal. We have little coat. It is quite big on him, so I might need to bring in, I need to bring in the top here a little more. I'm gonna cut these parts out with an X-Acto knife, and then I'll cut the same bits out on the white felt. Yeah, so the goal is, once it overlaps, it looks kind of like his jacket. I hope it looks like his jacket. I think I have the base part of the fit down. So so this is the back I have, and then these two are the front that I have. So I'm going to start sewing them on. So this is what I have so far. I used a front back stitch. This is what the back looks like. It doesn't look great, but I'm gonna leave this part open for now, and then I'm gonna stitch the back and the front, and then we're gonna see how it looks. Okay, so this is 2 days later. I finished the frame of his little jacket. This is what it looks like. I'm going to make the sleeves today. As for the collar, I think I can make a little collar for him. It's just gonna end here though, so it's gonna be a very small collar, but a collar nonetheless. But so the thing with Phainon is he has like this kind of rolled up part of his sleeve. I think, wait, I need to open the game. I currently do not have the game opened. Les poils étaient pignons, les vitons j'étais, et les jantons les oppas, les chichons l'étaient, on voit je les temps, les disponibles. Okay, so I have the basic shape down. So this is what the sleeve's gonna look like. So, this is where it's gonna attach to the coat, and then I had folded this part inward over, so I'm gonna sew this with a strip of this color to make his little glove thing, because I'm not gonna make a glove for this thing, but this is what the shape looks like. Yeah, so basically I had cut out a rounded part. I rounded this part so it would fit here. It may not look like it fits, but it will. Trust, okay? And then I rounded this part out, so when you fold it inward, and then creates this little lip, which when you turn into a sleeve, this is still here. It looks like you rolled up your sleeve. Okay, so I have both sleeves finished. And so Phainon on his right arm has an arm guard with a sun motif on it. So I was thinking I'll embroider like a little sun motif here, like just peeking out. And then on his left arm, he has this golden wrist guard thing that I thought maybe I could just like add a little piece right here to cover it, because I did get this color felt when I was buying felt. So okay, so what I decided to do is, because Phainon's like the sun on the side of his jacket has a little ring around it, I embroidered a circle inside to kind of mimic the little gap he has. It doesn't look perfect. Don't look too close to it. I'm going to once again mix colors and make the little sun rays, I think that's what it's called, around the sun. And for that, I once again do not have a perfect color match, so we're gonna attempt to use these two. But this is what he looks like so far. I think I will add a collar. I did say I might not add a collar, but I think I can add a collar. So I have this piece. I don't remember where this piece came from, but I have it, and I kind of wanted the collar to be here, and then it would wrap around, and it perfectly meets halfway in. So to not waste this piece, I think I'm just gonna cut another one of these and then just stitch it in the middle. Okay, so I'm almost done sewing the collar onto it, but I ran out of thread, so I'll finish it, but I think it's a little too flimsy. And also Phainon's, the inner collar is gold, so I'm gonna put a second layer behind it. I'm gonna trace this, cut it out, and then stick it on the inside. Okay, chat, I have him hanging on my water bottle, but this is what I have. I decided to simplify the design on the back of the collar. So this is the design that's on his collar, and then the front of him has this little triangle piece. I tried to mimic it a little bit with thread and a piece of felt. This is what the back looks like. It is a little uneven. This is what happens when you try to eyeball the measurements. But this is what I have so far. Making little Phaifufu's cape. And I'm just realizing how uneven I made the back detail. Okay. So the cape, I'm a little scared. I'm actually very scared because it's on. So there's like this thing that's attached to the shoulder. So there's these two leather pieces. So Phainon has a star thingy on his shoulder pad. I'm not gonna embroider the shape, so I simplified it It looks like a cookie. I'm not crashing out, you are. I'm not crashing out, you are. I should not be struggling this much. Why am I struggling? I'm not even doing the full design. I'm just trying to simplify it. It looks really questionable. I'm not gonna lie. There's 4 layers?
So basically what the cape looks like, it's fabric kind of like folded over itself. But the problem is that the outer shell of the cape is blue and the inner side is gold. So I can either use a lot of brain cells and make them like layers so I don't have to fold the fabric, or I sew these two together and then I do something like this where the inside is gold, and then the outside is blue, and make it very thick. So it will be like sticking out. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Make it 4 layers. So this is gonna be the back layer, and then there's gonna be 2 on the side. I'm too lazy to plan out the layers to make it lay flat. So it's gonna be puffy. So it's this in the back. It's ugly, but it's okay. It's gonna be in the back. Calm down. Ta-da! You know what? I'll stitch it up first. But Phainon does have a lot of gold details on the bottom of his cape. I forgot English for a second, but I'm wondering because there is like blue, like it's darker on the bottom. There's an ombre. I'm gonna use paint. I don't like using paint though. Okay, we might have to try using paint. Okay. I'm low-key scared, bro. I think this is the closest color I have. It's also the oldest bottle of paint I own. Oh, should I make it glittery? I have a dot. R.I.P. makeup brush. Does that look alright? Oh, that doesn't look too bad. It looks questionable in real life. Here, I'm gonna try on the actual thing. It's kind of working. Oh, yo, chat, big brain. Ta-da! It's a very light ombre, but it's there. It is the next day. I did not film it, but I added these little black bits on the bottom of his coat. And I also sewed his little cape on. I do think the cape is the hardest part about making this little dude. Okay. I took a look at the shoulder guard yesterday. I'm low-key kind of confused by how it works, but I've been confused by his entire outfit so far. So I'll do like a white, and then I'll also use gray for it. I've not used any of my gray, even though I bought 2 sheets of it. So I think I'm gonna make the top white, and then the bottom will be gray to make it a little color different. Make it a different color from the coat. But this is gonna be the top shape. And then the bottom shape's gonna be different. It's around the same shape, but is it 3 layers? Oh, well, I guess the other one's also 3 layers, but I only made it 2. Okay. I'll just make this one 2 too. Yeah, so this is kind of the shape I have. This is what I have. It's not great, not my best work, but to be fair, it's gonna be hidden in here. So I'm gonna fold it in more, but it's gonna be mainly hidden, so I'm not too upset. But whoops. Yeah, but this is what I was going for. You know, where is it? The resemblance is there. I got the guard on, so this is what we have so far. As for what to do next, we are gonna start putting on the tiny little details all over his jacket. For right now, I'm gonna try to add the piece in the back here. I'm just gonna make like a little rectangle and then just connect it to the sides. My computer crashed. This has taken me, I think, over a week. It's not centered. It's fine. Okay, I have stitched. I'm like procrastinating doing the front because I'm a little scared of the front. I think for the stars, I'm just gonna try my best. I'm gonna make it its own piece, and then I'll stitch it on the coats. I have some scraps, these gold scraps that I will use. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I need another piece. I can't even breathe when I do these crafts. Okay, this is what I have. They're not perfect, but I have not done an arts and crafts like this in like a year. Not centered. I think the best I did was the cape, and the rest of my skill and creativity just disappeared after. Okay, I'm gonna put some detailing. There's like some gold detailing on him that I will add. So there's like 2 buttons right here. I'm gonna add with some thread. There's also some detailing, gold detailing on the back. So I'll add that. So I did a lot off camera. I think I'm done. There is like golden detail in his jacket, like the bottom of his jacket. I'm not gonna bother with it because I think it already looks like him enough. Listen, this is the fit. I don't know why he looks so funny to me. Okay, now the real question. Do I make him a wig? A Phainon wig.